How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, I think it's been a little over a month or so ago, I had put up a video showing the royal family how contaminated the ocean is. It's full of contaminants, let alone just plastic. We're just going to focus on the plastic and how bad it is. I mean, this is no joke. These people up under here smiling. And I'm vastly concerned about this. I mean, it's a crying shame that here in America, Trump calls other countries a shithole, and this looks like a shithole. Who's, you know, I don't know the position or the name of it, but I know they got a department where people just deal with the environment. Now, I'm lost for words on that. And not to clean this shit up properly, you wait till it gets so fucking bad, then you clean up the shit. See, this is what this country do. They let shit go so bad that they don't know what to do. That's like outer space. It's full of junk. This is atrocious. So anyway, I'm gonna play the first video.
Our water is drowning in plastic.
Plastics in the ocean are increasing at an alarming rate.
Each year, 8 million metric tons of it end up in the oceans. Massive floating plastic garbage dumps. The one in the Pacific, twice the size of Texas. It's not just the oceans. The Great Lakes provide water for 30 million people and have fisheries that bring in $5 billion annually.
Some 22 million pounds of plastic is dumped into the Great Lakes each year. 11 million right here in Lake Michigan. That's enough to fill 100 Olympic-sized swimming pools with empty plastic bottles.
As Captain Rick Bentley prepares for another season of charters, he knows he'll be catching plastic junk along with fish.
It's going to go somewhere, and a lot of times it ends up out here.
And it doesn't just go away. It takes 50 years for a styrofoam cup to break down, and 450 years for the, quote, disposable plastic bottle. Toss it today, it won't be gone until the year 2458. And what you can't see can harm you. Tiny plastic microbeads used in everything from cleansers to toothpaste are ingested by fish and wildlife. Some bottled waters have been found to contain microplastics.
It's lowering our lifespan, it's causing obesity, it's causing asthma. This is not the American dream. Wake up, folks. Plastic is pollution.
70% of the earth is covered in water.
And we all came from water, right?
Now littered with plastics that don't decompose. It isn't as disposable as you might think. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News on Lake Michigan near Waukegan, Illinois.
All right, my royal family, that is a damn shame. That truly is. To have that much plastic in the ocean. And I have a little article I wanted to read the royal family. This Sunday was Earth Day, and they were saying here more than 1 billion people who celebrated Earth Day this year. The theme is ending plastic pollution by 2020. Of nearly 300 million tons of plastic sold each year, about 90% of it end up in landfills in the ocean or in our bodies in our bodies. Part of the focus will be microplastics. These small bits of plastics are seemingly everywhere. So it was saying here, the people that went on these expeditions, they went on 20 expeditions around the world to research microplastic pollution. Okay. When y'all gonna start removing this shit? And you know, it's everybody's duty and responsibility. It's not just this country's responsibility to deal with this. But this, you know, but the enemy runs this country.
A new report that came out this past week on the state of the world's oceans, specifically the finding that they contain far more plastic that's made its way in than scientists had first thought. We get more on this tonight from our chief environmental affairs correspondent, Ann Thompson.
Alaska's rugged shoreline, home to brown bears and sea otters, looks pristine from a distance, not close up.
There's just debris literally everywhere.
Scientist Carl Safina finds man's mark in plastic on the coast of the sparsely populated 49th state and New York's congested Long Island.
Look at this. This is all trash.
Yeah. And, you know, you can clean up a little bit. If you take a walk, you can spend your whole walk picking up garbage and come back the next day and there's just as much.
A new study says there are mind-boggling 5.25 trillion pieces of plastic in the world's oceans, nearly 300,000 tons. Lead author Marcus Erickson says that's enough 2-liter plastic bottles to go to the moon and back twice. Wow. Few pieces are that big.
92% are the size of a grain of rice or smaller.
But Erickson and his colleagues didn't find nearly as many of the really tiny pieces as expected.
We found as it got smaller, the salt and pepper sized fragments were almost disappearing from the ocean surface. They're not on the surface. They could be somewhere else, and that's where we're concerned.
Erickson says they could be sinking deep into the ocean below the 5 gyres, giant swirling bodies of water where plastic accumulates, or more ominously, entering the food web.
We're finding more in zooplankton in many fishes and seabirds, reptiles, and mammals.
Most famously, the albatross in the Pacific, the seabirds mistaking plastics for food.
Can we solve this problem?
Well, we made it, so presumably we could solve it.
California has banned single-use plastic bags, and some manufacturers are using plastics made from plants that break down in months, not years. The American Chemistry Council agrees littered plastics of any kind do not belong in the marine environment and should be recycled whenever possible. Reducing, reusing, and recycling to prevent a walk on the beach
Here's more.
from being a walk among trash.
Wow.
Ann Thompson, NBC News, Stony Brook, New York.
That is a damn shame. That is a damn shame. See, all of that plastic and even that microplastic, it gets into the ecosystem. You know, it's affecting marine life and everything. It ain't even safe to even eat fish no more, that's too small, due to Fukushima, let alone this shit. This is ridiculous. Why would they wait till it get just beyond belief? Wow. I mean, I could sit up here and show y'all all kind of pictures of how bad this plastic is, and it's bad all over the world eventually. This is basically an ocean of plastic. Sad, sad, sad. That's why I always pray that prayer. I pray for the many oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams, every blade of grass, every grain of sand, every flower and tree. Anyway, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe. Wow.